Good morning and welcome to Wednesday. So Conflict Awareness Day got me thinking about a real conflict that I was faced with, and this was after the close succession of deaths of my parents, and it was their next door neighbour who was challenging me on the boundaries between them and us. And at first it was fine, courteous text messages, discussions over the fence, but gradually the conflict became a little bit more heated. But I had a conversation with his wife, we had a good discussion, came to an understanding, shook hands on it, so I thought everything was fine. But then there was a sudden turnaround, and yes, I agreed that the fence was at its worst 8 inches out, so I prepared to get that altered for them. But the day the fences came in, that is when life became really difficult for me and my fencing team. And so much so that eventually, on the third day, I had to call the police. And they were really good. They came out immediately because they realised there was a danger to life or even a threat to life. And they were so good. These two police officers turned up. They spent 2 hours mediating. And we came to an agreement of the best course of action to resolve this situation. But the thing was, this day of this conflict had come on the first year anniversary of my trans mum, Joan, her death, bearing in mind that my mother had died 6 months before. So emotions were a little raw for me, and it's amazing how your emotions and your thoughts and your feelings affect your body. So with all of this, over those 3 days, I felt voiceless, and this came out physically in me losing my voice. I wasn't poorly, I hadn't got a cold, but I got a blockage, and that blockage in my throat was me feeling that I wasn't being heard. And I wasn't being heard because almost as soon as the police had gone, this neighbour did a turnaround on what he had agreed to do and ramped up the conflict with me. And in the end, I realised that actually no communication is communication. So I sent him a message saying that any communication now was going to be through letter, through the post, and that I wasn't going to answer his phone calls or his text messages any longer, and until he had done his part in what he had agreed to do. And eventually the power ran out of this conflict for him, because he realised he wasn't going to win his battle. His ego, this wasn't serving his ego any longer, because he hadn't really got a solid case around the boundary lines. So when you are managing conflict, just have a little think about what you're saying, how you're saying it, and with what power you are saying it, because you don't want to rise or lower yourself to the other person's energy levels, and you want to keep yourself a clear head. So this is where stepping back from the communication system and being very clear on how you're going to communicate can really support you in your way forwards with the conflict. So if you are struggling with a communication issue, a conflict, and this might be within yourself, it doesn't have to be with somebody else, it might be within yourself, then let's have a conversation. Message me and let's talk, and let's see how we can move you through this and out the other side to a better place. And on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. Bye bye now.